Alright guys, this is video 14 of 15, okay, so we're nearly through the series. Now if you haven't already done so, go back to the basic training video, okay, and this is going to, that video will explain my 4-step process to my trading plan, okay, so I'm not going to go into it in great detail here. This is for people who have already gone through the full series, right, so you've got the basic training video and 13 videos prior to this one in order to get an understanding of what's going on in the charts, right, so let's get into it then. So for those of you who've already been following my series on the chart here, I'm going to just go through it step by step now, okay, so if you can see here now, we've already got the equal lows that we talk about, which are all here, right, so there's our equal lows, right, we did just tag through this one slightly, but not by a large amount, okay, so we did just tag it. Okay, and then we've got the last swing point that caused this move down before it took the stops. Okay, so that's the point where we're looking for our breaker structure. Okay, and as you can see now, it properly ran through there. So where's the last up point before that move? It is this point right here. Okay, so we're looking at this high here. Okay, so the questions I got on my trade plan then, have we got equal lows? Yes. Have we had to run through them? Yes. Okay, now the third point in the trade plan is, have we had a break of structure? Okay, so there's our break of structure. Okay, now at this point here, we need to start paying attention of what's going on. Okay, so what candle was it that caused the move out of here? Okay, so if I zoom in a little bit, the last down candle is here. Okay, that caused the rally up to break structure. Okay, so that's the area that I'd be looking to get in on. Okay, so I've had a few questions about, does it matter how long it is underneath structure? Does that make any difference to my decision on my trades? No, it doesn't. Okay, so it can drop down and get straight out of there, or it can drop down, consolidate, and eventually break through. Okay, so that's just a change in directional bias. Now, the higher time frame bias, and I don't really pay too much attention to it, because all I'm looking for is temporary reversals and potential targets. Okay, so like I've said in my last video, if you're looking for targets, okay, you're going to have target in relatively equal highs. Okay, so you've got these here. Okay, you've also got these here, okay, these two, so I'd be looking at these two as a potential target, and then ultimately up to here. Okay, so if I zoom out on the chart a bit more, you've got these here, right, so clearly there's going to be stops sitting above here as well, right, so let me just drag this out a little bit more. These are our targets that we'd be looking for. Okay, so I run above all these levels. Now all these levels are going to have anyone that went short in the market are going to have stop losses sitting above these highs. Okay, so that's what's going to be our target. Right, so we've had a run below these equal lows here. Like I said, the cleaner the lows are, the better. Okay, we also had a run below this low here. Okay, and that was down at this point. Okay, so anyway, this is it. So we've had question 1, have we got equal lows? Okay, in this case, yes, we have. Question 2, have they been ran? Yes. Question 3, has there been rejection? Okay, yes, there has. And question 4, have we had a break of structure? And that break of structure took place right there. Okay, so once this candle burst through, let me have a look. So the break of structure took place at that point there. Okay, now I always like to, like I said in my other videos, I like to see a bit of structure take place before the break. Right, so if it came down and then just broke straight out of there, it makes it very difficult for areas for tight stop losses, unless you're really going to break down smaller time frames on the retracement, right? So once price is up here, then we're looking for a retracement back into structure. Okay, so there's our structure there, and also retest the old high. Okay, so we're looking for price to come back down, retest structure here, and also come back down into this structure here. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, retracement, in order to get our position. Now, once we got our entry, we're then looking for a good place for a stop loss. Okay, so I'd be putting stop loss below this low here. Okay, give us a bit of room on the body, and then I'd be having the entry would be based on that point there. Okay, so this specific down candle, the black candle there, is the one we need to pay attention to. Okay, so if price only came down so far and then can't continued long and we missed the entry, that's just the way it is, all right? But you have to have a plan set, okay? And like I said, I've got my 4 questions. I've given you the questions in the first video. The next video on video 15 is going to be just a summary of the entire series that I've done, okay? So it's not going to be on the charts too much. It's just going to be talking about what we've gone through in the videos and just sort of summarizing it, all right? So like I said, so right, okay, so we've got equal lows there. Okay, we've had to run through them. We had a rejection and we've had a breakage structure. So like I said, now we're just waiting for retracement back into this level, which is the down candle before the up move. Okay, that's all we're waiting for. Okay, so notice now, so we're looking for a long position, okay, and we've just had a relatively equal set of highs print here, okay, so you're going to get sellers in the market again with stop losses above, okay, so as we plow through these levels, we're looking to take out any short positions. Okay, notice it just continues to print resistance here. Okay, enticing more short positions. Okay, so at that point there, that's our entry right there. Okay, so let me just highlight that. So that is the entry right there. Okay, now when I put my entries in, if I'm using a limit order, I have to leave about 5 pips above where I'd like to enter, because sometimes the price will go through but the spread doesn't go through enough to activate the order. So that's how precise some of these entries can be. You almost enter into the pip. Okay, so like I said, that would be the entry. Okay, then you've got a stop loss down here. Okay, so that would be the stop, and then we're going to be targeting these levels. Okay, all of these levels up here. All right, so I'm just going to keep it zoomed out a little bit. Now you don't need to be seeing the candles in great, you don't need to zoom in too much. Like if you're zooming in like this close, looking at candles, trying to see every specific candle play out, you don't know where your targets are, where your stop loss should be going. You don't even know if this is a pattern or to reverse or a consolidation level. So zoom out, get out on your charts, zoom all the way out and get an idea of what's going on in actual price. Okay, so in this case now we've had a move down. Okay, we've run some old lows. Okay, so see this old low here. All right, now like I said on the previous video, if I've got levels where I've got really clean obvious targets that I'd like to target, and I've had a run beyond these old lows, and then I've had the reversal pattern that I'm looking for, it makes it a very good setup, because it's like you've got the targets in place. Now when you get up to levels like this, you could see it run straight through, or you could see it wick and then not quite break the highs and then go into a range. So you could consolidate at these levels. So you've got to be prepared to, once you get very, very close to your target, then you want to move your stop loss and start securing some profit. Okay, or you can take partial profits, you know, where you close part of the position, and then move your stop loss to break even, and then let the rest of it run to target if you've got a target above. Okay, so we'll let this one play out, and then we'll talk about it as we are making our way up there. Okay, so this, the very pattern that I talk about, okay, you've got a set of lows here as well, see it? And then it broke through and then it rallied above, right? But at the point of entry, our point of entry is right there. Okay, so that's target 1, that's target 2. Okay, so at target 3 at this point here, you should be taking partial profits, right? Because it's very close to target anyway. Okay, so that is where price is currently at as of the close of the market on Friday, right? So this is how it's currently played out. It didn't make fully above the target we would be looking for, okay? But you have had the perfect entry, really tight stop loss, okay? Now, if you had gone for risk to reward, if you want to have a quick look at them, okay, long position, entry point was right there. Okay, stop loss was here. Okay, and then the first target was the top of this box here, so we'd be looking at a 7.32 to 1 risk reward. Okay, and then we've got a 8.82, so I'm looking at the number here. Okay, so as I move the green box, it'll tell you what the risk to reward ratio is. Okay, so watch the number move as I drop it down to our target. The first target, you got 7.35. Second target, you've got the 8.85, and then ultimately at the top here, you would be looking for a 13.72 to 1. Now, if you decided to take the profit before that target, even at this point, you're still looking at 12.8, so nearly a 13 to 1 there. Okay, so this is just another example of the trade setup, right? So you're looking for a move in one direction, run on stops, break a structure, continue in the opposite direction, right? So what you're doing here, you're trapping people short, and anyone that did go long, you're now taking their stops and reversing the market again. You can see, like, once you get that entry point, it does seem to move quite fast in the opposite direction, right? Because it's already got the liquidity that's been run through here, based on all stops below these lows. It's already been run through, and then they're looking to reverse the market. Okay, so that is another example. This was Canadian dollar, Japanese yen on a 15-minute chart. All right, so this is going to be the final chart-based video in the series. Okay, like I said, the next video is going to be a summary of what we've talked about. Okay, so I'll go into a little bit of explaining the setup a bit more in detail again in that next video. All right, so that is it for this one. I'll see you in the next video.